Everyone, Zeddy here again today with our final card review of a Murder at Castle Nathria. Every card has been revealed, like over 30 of them. There is a lot to go over. I haven't even looked at almost all of them, so I'm going to be reacting pretty much on the spot, reviewing, going over every one of them. And if you want to win some of them, or open some of them, whatever, I'm doing a giveaway. Have you heard? For Murder at Castle Nathria, 3 mega bundles, 2 regular printers out of my pocket. All you have to do is like and comment on the video in the description below. Subscribe to the channel. If we hit 55,000 subscribers by, I'm guessing, the next couple days, I haven't decided the deadline yet. I'm giving you guys time. If we hit 55,000, I will add another mega bundle. So hit that sub button, make me go broke. All right, guys and gals, we got a lot of cards to go over, so let's go through them. I'll try and keep it a little bit brief if I can on some of them, but this will be a bit of a longer review, so buckle in. It should be a fun one. Starting off, we have a Warlock Shadow spell, Suffocating Shadows, 3 mana. When you play or discard this, destroy a random enemy minion. So it's a 3 mana deadly shot, right? If you just play it, it's just deadly shot. That's the card. However, if you discard it, then you get to get it kind of for free. A random deadly shot. If you like soul fired it out, whatever discard effect you got, you discard this, it's a free deadly shot. There's not a lot of discard stuff going on in Warlock right now. We'll see if there's more support in some of these cards, but the effect to me is probably never worth running unless you really have some insane discard synergies. I'm even thinking about Wild, where you have a ridiculous amount of discard synergies. I don't think a random deadly shot's gonna make the cut. It does have the shadow spell implications where you can get more copies with your Tamsin and all of that, but overall, not really sold on this being a big meta card. I will give it a 2 in Standard and Wild, because again, even in Wild, I don't think you want to play this in discard Warlock. We have the Stoneborn General, 10 mana, 8/8 rush, neutral minion, Deathrattle, summon an 8/8 Gravewing with rush, which is just another mini with rush. It's just, yeah, there's no tribe, nothing. It's just, you know, an arena card, really good arena card. Maybe it's a Druid card for 1 mana. I don't know. That's all I could think of as like alignment. It's got Deathrattle on it, so you can use like the Druid location. So it does have even more synergies if you're going that way in like a big Druid list. Probably not worth it when you have like Raid Boss and the Colossals and all of that. It's just a really good arena card. I'm going to give it a 1 out of 5 in Standard Wild. I don't think you're ever hard running the card, but again, alignment makes absolutely anything possible, so you never ever know. We have Stoneborn Accuser, 5 mana, 5/5, Infuse 5. It gains the battle cry of deal 5 damage. Interestingly enough, if somebody plays like a Boom Pistol Bully, your battle cry minions cost 5 more next turn. If it's not infused, you can play your 5 mana, 5/5. It'll suck, but you can do it. Pretty big downside to like you gotta hit the Infuse 5, and then it's 5 mana, 5/5, deal 5. I don't know, seems like a pack filler to me. Seems like something that you would just run to like, hey, this is what Infuse does. So gonna give it a 1 out of 5 in Standard Wild. Again, nothing particularly exciting, even with like brain synergies and dueling Pyroblast damage for like 8 mana. We have the Steam Cleaner, so a mech. This can go to like Mech Mage, Mech Paladin, 5 mana, 5/5 battle cry, destroy all cards in both players' decks that didn't start there. That is a really interesting card. This is your tech for Quest Priests. They shuffle the shard into their deck. You play this and you destroy their quest reward. Or if they've shuffled in whatever type of effect, Cthulhu in Wild, where you have like the Cthulhu pieces. Interesting tech card. It's not really a big like mech card. You're not really playing it for the mech tag. It's not really gonna fit into mech decks, but it is a mech, and it's an interesting tech card, and tech cards at some point will see relevant play, and you can even play this and delete curses, or not curses, the agonies, right? That Warlock could put into your deck. You can delete those and avoid that. So interesting card. I'll give it a 2 out of 5 in Standard and Wild, but again, it could see play because it's a tech card in the right meta. I just don't know what that is, and I made some examples, but probably not worth running unless, of course, you're Shudderwock Shaman, and well, you can run like every greedy tech card ever because you can get away with it, but still, I don't think you do it. We have a new totem, a neutral totem, 1 mana, 0/3 totem. At the end of your turn, gain +1 health. Whatever, right? It's like 1 mana 0/4 right away. It's a 1 mana 0/4, and this is a Shaman card. Why? It's like, it's neutral, but it's a Shaman card. Unless, I guess, Inner Fire Priest could, like, actually, like, you know, Wig Priest and all of that, because it's a lot of health on a 1-drop, and it keeps gaining health. So you know what? I'll say Wig Priest and maybe like a hand buff Paladin. Those are the type of things you might expect to see this in, but also Shaman, because it's got the Totem tag, and you play your legendary that gives your totems +2 attack for the rest of the game. This gets +2 attack. I actually think this sees play in standard, in wild, for those decks. Mainly Shaman and Priest are the ones that stand out. It might not look that sexy, interesting, but it's a hard minion to remove, and it's a really good buff target, and it's only 1 mana. So I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5 in standard and wild. I think this will see play in relevant, again, buff decks, but they exist, and I expect, I mean, Way Priest is already good, and I expect Totem Shaman to at least try and make some noise, so definitely some possibilities there. We have the Sinful Baran, 1 mana epic spell for Demon Hunter, brand an enemy minion. So you put a brand on it, all right, and then whenever it takes damage, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. So you can play this on like a high health minion. It has to be an enemy minion, not your own, and then just do a lot of chip damage and get a lot of damage in. That's pretty cool. Mark will have fun with this one. Mark, first Mark shout out, there'll be probably more. He'll have some pretty cool OTKs with this. And Demon Hunter, like outside of like rush tokens, like 1/1 tokens, doesn't have the best way of dealing increments of like little damage, but that could work, and that could be pretty spectacular. Very meta dependent. Depends on what your opponents are playing. I gotta give it a 2, or actually it's probably more like a 1, but I'll give it a 2 out of 5 in standard wild. Maybe it pops up in a fringe deck, but again, when you rely on your opponent to have something, or like you spawn a minion for them and do some stuff, feels weird. It feels like a meme, but I'm excited to see what Mark can do with it. We have the Service Bell, 3 mana Paladin spell, no tag on it, not a holy spell. Discover a class card from your deck and draw all copies of it. Well, that's pretty cool. So you can get multiple copies of, yeah, Paladin cards from your deck. Interesting. This is some pure Paladin support, right? You will not find neutrals. And interestingly enough, let's say there's a combo where you just want to run neutral minions, but you want that 1 class card to tutor. You could tutor out a specific card with this, whether it be a spell. You could run all neutrals in Carriel and another service spell and always make sure you hit your Carriel. It's a really interesting, weird card. I think pure Paladin will run it because it's 3 mana, draw 2 at the very worst most of the time in specific cards, and that seems pretty good. I don't know, just seems solid. And I know Paladin likes the 40 card deck strategy because they got a lot of healing and all that, and I could see a 40 card pure Paladin being a thing. I'll give this a 3 out of 5 in standard. In wild, probably too slow, but still interesting enough. Maybe like a Holy Wrath thing can go on with this. I don't know. I'll give it a 3 in both formats. Really interesting card, and I definitely could see it seeing play. We have the Scuttlebutt Ghoul, 4 mana 2/5 taunt. Battle Cry, if you control a secret, summon a copy of this. So it's a neutral minion, any class can run this. So for 5 mana, Paladin can play this, a 1 mana secret Scuttlebutt Ghoul, and get 4 mana 4/10 and taunt. It's pretty good. It's an injured, almost an injured Marauder and wild in an Oaken Summons package, which is pretty good. Yeah, maybe that Secret Mage deck will run this. It's weird because those decks typically don't care about like taunt, and this isn't like aggressive. It's kind of a weird stat line, but maybe you'll see play. And summon a copy of this. Again, some Shudderwalk support if Shudderwalk could have access to secrets, although you can run that 2-drop that discovers a secret from another class. There you go, more Serenite Chain Gang, better Serenite Chain Gang. I'll give it a 3 out of 5 in standard, 2 out of 5 in wild, because I do see a secret deck maybe using this. It's not, I mean, it's not terrible, but you definitely need the copy for it to be good. We have Roosting Gargoyle, 2 mana 2/3, again, neutral minion. Battle Cry, give a friendly beast +2 attack. Whatever. I mean, Hunter might like this in Beast, but it's just, yeah, just like Shattered Sun Cleric style card, right? I don't know, feels old, feels like it's not going to fit in today's Hearthstone. I'll give it a 1 out of 5 in standard and wild. We have Riot, new epic spell for Warrior. Please be better than the taunts. Please be better than the taunts. Your minions can't be reduced below 1 health this turn, similar to the one card that we've seen that before. Oh my god, I can't wrap. What was it called? Oh my god, I can't remember. It's an old, from the like classic basic set. Your minions could be damaged. They could draw a card. Regardless, they each attack a random enemy minion. So that's pretty good. That's like a cheap, like mass hysteria type effect, but you need board your minions, your minions, so they will each attack a red enemy minion. You need minions on board for this to be relevant. So in Rage Warrior kind of thing, maybe a Dragon Control Warrior. Awkward. Dude, warrior cards seem to really suck right now. Is it just me? I don't know. This just, I'll see. There's more warrior cards to look out, but it's like this Enraged Warrior isn't even a meta relevant deck, and I don't see the pieces coming together. This card seems not great to me. It's okay if you have a lot of like high attack minions, and then I guess the idea is you can have them attack and then maybe you swing with that buff weapon we saw. That could be all right. Because then they'll all be damaged. It's a decent little combo. I'll give it a 3 out of 5 in standard, just because like there's got to be a plan with this, right? It's got to work, right? The effect's all right. Yeah, 3 out of 5 in wild. You're not playing this. It's a 2, but yeah, there. It's Commanding Shout. I figured it out. Commanding Shout. I'm shouting. All right, Priest card. Partner in Crime. 4 mana, 2/5. Battle Cry. Summon a copy of this minion at the end of your turn. Okay, this is like the old like Oozling card, right? It was just to be like a 2 mana 1/2. You could summon a copy of that card at the end of the turn. So the idea is you play Partner in Crime, you buff it up a bunch, and then you get a copy of that buffed card. We saw that, yeah, was it Echoing Ooze? I believe it was called. I think it's very similar to that. It's a lot more expensive. You'll note the high health, though. It works really well with that new Priest Legendary that will automatically match the highest health and attack. So you play like a wig on this with that Legendary. This goes to a 7/7, you get another 7/7. It's very slow, but possibly good. I just feel like this card's too expensive to really get it going. But again, this was just with like a Bless just by itself, 4 mana and a Bless. That's pretty good. It's a lot of stats. It just feels slow. It feels slow, and I don't think it'll be super relevant, but again, you never know. I'll give it 2 out of 5 in standard, 2 out of 5 in wild, where the Inner Fire strategy, they like run 1 and 2 drops and maybe a 3. They used to run a 4 in Drekthar, but they got nerfed, and this would just be too slow for that strategy in my opinion. We have Mysterious Visitor, new Priest Epic, 2 mana, 2/3. Battle Cry, reduce the cost of cards copied from your opponent by 2. So this goes with that legendary where you play a card you copy from your opponent and then you steal it. Well, now they're discounted by 2, and you can combo it easier with your legendary. There still aren't great steal effects. I'm expecting to see some steal effects in a few cards here because it doesn't make sense. We have like Dracula Operative, the 1 mana 1/1 that steals a card, and like the freaking Caravan, almost nothing. Like I think the Scoundrel, the 4 mana 5/5 Pirate, really weak, but this that can be really good. And then while you have Thought Steal, you can go like Thought Steal, Mysterious Visitor, but again, disruption value not really that good. I'm gonna give it 2 out of 5 in standard, 2 out of 5 in wild. Still seems really weird and clunky on this weird Thief Priest style, but you know, it's a pretty cool design, I guess. We have the Muck Plumber, 5 mana 5/5. All minions cost 2 more. This is our second disruption card involving minions this set. We saw 3 mana 3/4. That makes minions cost 1 more the next turn for your opponent. This is just a constant effect. Minions cost 2 more. It's both sided. So you play this, your minions will cost 2 more, similar to like Nerubian Unraveler, cards like that we've seen in the past. I don't know if it's what it's called. It used to make your spells cost 2 more. It was 6 mana. This can be really annoying after an alignment. This can be annoying to stop your opponent from comboing. It's a decent disruption card, very meta dependent, but I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 in standard and wild because cards like this I've always seen play in some decks. There's always some utility, there's always some usability, and I expect Muck Plumber to pop up somewhere. And it's certainly not a terrible card, but again, it has to fit that right spot. We have the Masked Reveler, 6 mana 4/4 Rush. Deathrattle, summon a 2/2 copy of another minion in your deck. Hey, Barnes, it's Barnes, except it's 6 mana, it has a Deathrattle. So hopefully they've learned, it's 6 mana. Barnes, again, would be a 5, they used to be a 4 mana 3/4 that would summon a 1/1 copy of another minion in your deck. Now you can do this for 6 mana, it's a 2/2, and it's like, yeah, it has to die before it gets it, but then you could like res it. Interesting, I don't know what decks will run this. There's no res effects outside of like, Revive Pet for Hunter. I don't know if they run this. I have no idea, but it seems like a pack fillerish type card, to be honest. Good arena card again because it has rush and gives you body, but I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5 in Standard and Wild. I'm scared to because Barnes was so busted back in the day, but it's 6 mana, so I can't be that alarmed in today's Hearthstone. Plus Barnes is at 5 in Wild, and outside of that Kael'thas deck didn't see like any play forever. We have the Invitation Courier, 3 mana 3/4, again a 3 mana 3/4. Hello Blizzard. After a card is added to your hand from another class, copy it. So extra Burgle Rogue value, extra Priest value with their copy effects they seem to be pushing. It's an all right card, but if you're playing a deck like that, I feel like this is very clunky and slow, but it is an ongoing effect. It's not a battle cry, so you put it on the board, do a bunch of stuff, but I'm going to give it a 1 out of 5 in Standard and Wild. Cool little value card, but again, I don't see it being hard run. We have Identity Theft, some Shadow Priest support, 3 mana, discover a copy of a card from your opponent's hand and deck. So I'm assuming that's 2 cards, right? Because yeah, you get 2 cards, right, from hand and deck. So that's pretty good. Goes with all the other cheating cards. And that's like, it's 1 more mana than Thoughtsteal, but you get to pick. Thoughtsteal was like 2 mana, get 2 random cards from your opponent's deck. This gives you the option to discover 2 of those cards, and that can be very valuable. That's really good value, and you can discount the spell and all of that stuff. I think it's solid, and I love the flavor text. Identity Theft is not a joke, Jim. Beats Battlestar Galactica and Bears. I misordered it, but you know what I mean. I'll give it a 3 out of 5 in Standard. I think a value card like this can work, and maybe this is like the best card in that Thievery so far, right? You get to steal the card, discount it, and then, yeah, they don't even get the card. So that's not bad. You can selectively pick what card you can try and screw your opponent with, so that's pretty good. In Wild, too slow. Again, I'll give it a 2, but that's just the way Wild is. If you're not killing your opponent or disrupting them or comboing, you're not playing the card. We have Gigan Totem. Let's go with Gigan Totem. 10 mana, 8/8 Totem. Imagine if Tuskar Totemic was still unnerfed. That 3-drop used to summon any totem randomly. They could have summoned this. Costs 1 less for each totem you've summoned this game. It's like a giant, but a totem. And if you're playing Totem Shaman, you're playing this card because it gets cheap pretty quickly, especially with that Infuse 3-drop that it can keep summoning more totems at the end of turn. Your hero power, that 1-drop, all other totems, pretty good. And in Wild, you could play this in Even Shaman, which again hasn't been that relevant, but this is an even cost totem. That's pretty solid. I will give it a 3 out of 5 in Standard and Wild. I think it'll see play because these type of cards, like, but do they not see play? Almost always. So I'll just give it a playable. It's a new giant, except it's a totem, and it's pretty good. We have the Dredger Staff. What the heck? 1 mana. 1/2 neutral minion battle cry. Give minions in your hand +1 health. Well, you know, it's a card. It's like hand buff Paladin minus the attack, and that makes it a lot worse. And it's a 1 mana 1/2 okay arena card. I know there's like Divine Spirit, Inner Fire stuff, there's hand buff Paladin stuff, but there's just better cards to play than this. This cannot be a good card or like worth it. I gotta give it a 1 in Standard and Wild. I mean, it's not terrible, but like in today's Hearthstone, it's a 1. If this came out like 3 years ago, it'd probably be like middle of the road. Maybe it'll see play, but I just don't see it. Even with Brand, you're just getting +2 health. We have Double Cross. This is the we already talked about this. It's not it's actually not Betrayal of Betrayal, but this was the secret that spends all their mana, draw 2 cards. We already talked about it. I think it'll see play. We have Divine Toll, 7 mana Holy Paladin spell, so more pure Paladin support every time you get a Paladin card. Shoot 5 rays at random minions. They give friendly minions +2/+2 and deal 2 damage to enemy minions. This is a really cool card. It's 7 mana, possibly deal 10 to minions, or 7 mana if your opponent, or if your opponent doesn't have a board, it's 7 mana +10/+10. It's a really unique, interesting card. I have no idea if this is good, but I think the design is really cool. I actually think it's pretty sweet. You can discount holy spells with your Cariel legendary minion and other means. I think it might see play. It's a really interesting card. I'll give it a 3 out of 5 Standard, 2 out of 5 Wild, because it's 7 mana in Wild, and we can't really be doing those things. We have Dispose of Evidence, a 0 mana Demon Hunter spell. Their second ever 0 mana spell. They have Blur, Twin Slice, which got nerfed to 1. Give your hero +3 attack this turn. Choose a card in your hand to shuffle into your deck. This vomit, draw, hand Demon Hunter seems super toxic. 0 mana, deal 3. Good lord. Yeah, and you have all the card draw and you have stuff to replace. This is gross. I'll give this a 4 to 5 in standard. Can't play it in odd DH, but maybe this archetype will work in wild. Honestly, it could. I'll give it a 3 out of 5 in wild. This is gross. This card's like, yeah, 0 mana deal 3 and couple with like, you know, the honorable kill weapon and multi-strike. Just gross. That card is, yeah, dispose of that card, please. We have the Dinner Performer, 3 mana 2/3, bad statted, neutral minion, Battle Cry, summon a random minion from your deck that you can afford to play. Well, it's kind of, that is interesting. This can be a tutor for a specific combo card if you have a certain mana threshold and you don't run other cheap minions. Really weird cheat card. But yeah, this is a 3 mana 2/3. You know people are gonna put like Injured Blade Master style stuff or Mukla or whatever's in standard that can abuse this. Interesting high roll. I will give this a 3 out of 5 in standard wild because this effect is abusable. And I can't think off the top of my head of great examples outside of like an Injured Blade Master or tutoring, but this type of effect historically sees play because you can abuse it. And I have to give it a 3 in both formats. We have another Druid minion. 6 mana 7/6 Battle Cry, draw a Deathrattle minion and gain its Deathrattle. This is nuts. With the legendary, the 8 mana 8/8 draw minion, and then it's 8 less. You only run a couple of like Deathrattles. Like this is, you just run these 2 cards and that other Deathrattle, and that's gross. The only issue with the card is it doesn't do anything when you play it, but it's still a 6 mana 7/6. This card seems absurd to me. I think this will work. Like, this is what kind of makes Deathrattle Druid kind of seem worth it, does it not? You can play like a big Deathrattle Druid with a card like this. A lot of big minions. Play the 2 copies of this. Play the legendary. Cheat out big stuff. And maybe you don't have to alignment. Wouldn't that be cool? And then you just die to other giant stuff. But whatever. I'm going to give this a 4 to 5 in standard. 3 to 5 in wild. It probably doesn't see play wild, but has a chance because it doesn't screw up summons. But yeah, this card's actually pretty scary. Pretty darn good. We went from 4 mana 7/7 and Shaman to a 4 mana 1/1. They get the evolve minions and now they get, yeah, this is like obviously for evolve. 4 mana 1/1, summon a 3/5 elemental with taunt. It looks like that. Pretty cool. But yeah, you evolve this, right? And then you get a random 5 drop or whatever with the location or the spell. You get, you can upgrade that spell to infuse, get something 2 more. Whatever, but you're gonna evolve into this. You're not gonna play it, right? It's a decent evolved Shaman card. I don't know if it'll see play. It's really good the location because you can target just the 1/1. I'll give it a 3 out of 5 in standard, 3 out of 5 in wild because I do think evolved Shaman might make a comeback in wild. There's so many good evolved cards there, so I just like it. 4 mana 7/7. Now we got a 4 mana 1/1. We got the Crooked Cook, 2 mana 1/4 neutral minion. Love the artwork on this guy. At the end of your turn, if you dealt 3 or more damage to the enemy hero, draw a card. Good aggro card, get some card draw, but the stat line sucks. Like, it's anti-synergistic with most aggressive decks, and you have to deal at least 3 damage, so you gotta be pretty aggressive, and pretty much every aggro deck outside of Hunter has incredible card draw, and I just feel like this is probably not gonna make the cut. It's not terrible, but I don't think it makes the cut. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5 in standard and wild. We have the Criminal lineup, 8 mana Shaman spell, choose a friendly minion, summon 3 copies of it, overload 2. There's some broken stuff you can do in wild with this, I would think. You can Lightning Bloom synergize with this, like you could play this and Lightning Bloom something out. That's really good. It's Faceless Manipulator times 3 for 3 more mana. I don't know what you're doing with this in standard. I have no clue, but it's a cool, crazy copy card that, again, hi Mark, you will be able to utilize and do some pretty cool stuff. In standard, I don't see it being a relevant card right now. I'll give it a 2. In wild, Mark will have fun with it. I'm giving it a 3, a generous 3. We have the Creepy Painting, 3 mana 0/6 minion. After another minion dies, become a copy of it. And that's any minion. That's not just yours, that's any minion. It needs to be on the board for this. It's not a battle cry. It's a constant effect. It's a really cool design card, right? It is a Creepy Painting. Every time a minion dies, it will turn into it. So if you can't remove this, it could just constantly transfer to other things or another Creepy Painting. I have no idea what to make of this card, but the design is rad. So for that reason, optimistic 3 out of 5 in standard and wild, just because I think it's a really cool card. We have the Crazed Wretch, 2 mana 1/4 warrior card, has +2 attack and charge. 2 mana charge minion, wild damage, and has 4 health. That and Rage Warrior looking a lot better, and there's some OTK potential with the new weapon, Whirlwinds. This is the type of card that can make that deck work. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5 in standard and wild because wild has so many incredible tools like Risky Skipper, Battle Rage. This card is really scary, really good. 4 to 5 standard wild. I think this card is incredibly good. I don't know if it's enough to put that in Rage Warrior on the map, but yeah, very strong. We have Conqueror's Banner, 2-mana warrior spell. Reveal a card from each player's deck 3 times. So 3 chances at it. It's Joust. We got Joust, baby. It's back. Draw any of yours that costs more. So you want to play a big deck and hope to draw 3. These cards have always sucked. Joust cards, like, I guess if it hits 2 cards, you're happy. But if you hit 1 or 0, you're really upset. And I feel even like a big deck, so you have to run a lot of cheap stuff. I don't see this thing play, but it has a shot. I'll give it a 2 out of 5 in standard wild. But yeah, Joust is back. We have Collateral Damage, 8 mana Hunter spell. Deal 6 damage to 3 random enemy minions. Excess damage hits the enemy hero. It is the 4 mana piercing shot, right? Is it called piercing shot? Whatever the 4 mana spell does the same thing, but it's targeted. This is random, and if there's no enemy minions, this is just doing nothing. Very expensive. I don't think Hunter is playing this at all. Not even Quest Hunter variants. Really high variance, and just... I'm going to give it a 1 out of 5 in standard wild. I can't imagine a single deck that would play this. We have the Chatty Bartender, 4 mana 4/4. At the end of your turn, if you control a secret, deal 2 damage to all enemies. Similar to Flak Mage, which was every time you cast a secret while it's on the board, it would deal 2 damage to all enemy and minions. This goes face, and that's pretty solid. If you just have to control it, you don't have to play it the same turn. You can play this on 4. Secret is up. It's active. It's good. Again, the secrets in Mage aren't great, but this card's pretty darn good. I'll give it a 3 out of 5 in standard, 3 out of 5 in wild, because I think Secret Mage is going to work. We have Carving Chisel, 2 mana 1/3 Shaman weapon. After hero attack, summon a basic totem. Really good for Totem Shaman. You could play this in even Shaman too. Yeah, I mean, just getting more totems, discounting your giant totem more. These could have +2 attack. That's just a lot of totems really quickly, and it's 3 durability, and you're getting a ping. I will give this a 3 out of 5 standard wild. I think it's a solid card. This card I saw, Anonymous Informant, 2 mana 2/3 Battle Cry. The next secret you play costs 0. Not this turn. Remember Kirin Tormage and Cabal Lackey? Those were that turn. This is a neutral. Those were Mage minions. This is a neutral that just does it. This is a 5-star card in standard wild for any secret deck ever. Because why would you not play this? You can just bank the secret for the next turn. And in Mage, you're gaining mana because your secrets are 3. It's just really good, really broken. This is pure power creep at its finest. There's no way around it. Look up Kirin Tormage and tell me this is not pure power creep. Holy crap. And it's a neutral to boot, premium stats. We have the Anima Extractor, 2 mana 1/4 warrior minion. Whenever a friendly minion takes damage, give a random minion in your hand +1/+1. Can hand buff that 2 mana charge minion. You can hand buff whatever, right? And you're trying to do whirlwinds, buffing with your weapon. Solid card. Don't know if it's enough to make Enrage Warrior work. It seems like a lot of work to get +1/+1. You definitely need this to be buffed as well. Works with the location though. You can like hit it right away. I'll give it a 3 out of 5 in standard, 3 out of 5 in wild, because I do think this whole thing might come together now that we've seen a lot of these cards. We have the Light, it burns. I don't want to burn, please. 1 mana holy spell. Deal damage to a minion equal to its attack. So I guess, yeah, you're like inner fire something, and then you can deal a lot of big damage to something, I guess, right? I guess you're dealing, no, it deals damage to a minion equal to its attack. So if there's like a 7, I guess this kills anything that's like even attack, even health. Yeah, that's pretty solid, cheap removal. It's situational, but it's 1 mana. I think control decks could use it. Maybe an inner fire deck. Maybe, I don't know. It's an interesting one. I'll give it a 3 out of 5 in standard, 2 out of 5 in wild, because I don't think wild cares. But yeah, this is a really weird, interesting card. And lastly, the last card we have here, this is Ben Hearthstone's card, Murlockula. Super cool card. 3 mana 3 or 4 mana 3/4 Murloc. Terrible stats, it's lifesteal. However, Infuse 4, this costs 0. So if you have 4 friendly minions die, you can play Murlockula. The best part of Murlockula is when it's Murglin time and totally get Murgled. Those guys. We'll totally Murgle those guys. Love the flavor. This is like Corridor Creeper for Murloc decks. I think they run it. Like, you're always having minions die quite a bit. You can dredge it out. Murloc Shaman probably likes it. I think other Murloc decks will play it. You're always summoning guys. As soon as you draw this, it's probably going to be playable very quickly. And you have a 0 mana Murloc on the board with some upside. Pretty good. Pretty good. I will give it a 3 out of 5 in Standard Wild. And there you go. That's all the cards. That's a lot of cards to go over. Hopefully you guys enjoy the review season. It's over. No more card reviews. But we'll start recapping best and worst stuff, tier lists. We'll have a lot of fun. And we got theory crafting tomorrow. So we'll talk more about that in tomorrow morning's video. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day. And stay salty, my friends.